Hey guys, it's me, Kisame Unlimited, and a lot of people are going to wonder this, and they're going to say, why are you sounding like that? The funny factor is this is what I naturally sound like. Every time when I ever film for a video, I always sound more upbeat and positive because I always say to myself, that's what my subscribers want to see. They want to see me nice and happy, but this is what I naturally sound like, and it sounds horrifying. That's why I naturally don't sound like this. I try to force it out, and I try to sound really happy and upbeat, and I sound like this every time when I do all my segments, but naturally, I sound like this. This is going to be the first time ever where I'm going to actually try to make a video talking like myself. So I hope everyone could actually sit through it, because I don't know, today's just one of those days where I said, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. I just want to talk natural for once. Alright, so like the video if you haven't. 800 likes would be a goal, even though I know we'll never get it. So the two cards I'm going to be tackling for this Toot and Boot is OddEyes Phantom Dragon and Dark World Brainwashing. And I'm going to be tackling if they're good or bad. And if they're good, I give them toots. If they're bad, I give them boots. And toot is good, boot is bad, and that's how I tackle it. So, OddEyes Phantom Dragon is a Dark Pendulum level 7 scale 4, 2500 attack and 2000 defense. Its pendulum effect states once per turn, when an attack is declared involving a face-up monster you control and an opponent's monster, if you have an OddEyes card in your other pendulum zone, you can make that monster you control gain 1200 attack until the end of the battle phase, even if this card leaves the field. Okay? And its monster effect states, when this pendulum summoned card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by attacking, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of OddEyes cards in your pendulum zones times 1200. You can only use this effect of OddEyes Phantom Dragon once per turn. Now, my opinions on OddEyes Phantom Dragon as a whole is the pendulum scale is 4, and I don't actually think that that's really good. I think that having a scale 4 is meh, because most of the time you're going to need a scale 1 or 2 or 7 or 8 to be able to bring out everything that your deck has to offer, not just OddEyes cards. This card really almost never is you're going to use it for its pendulum effect, because you're never going to want it in your scales unless the only card you're looking to summon is going to be OddEyes. So I actually don't think that that's really good. And then as for his monster effect, being able to deal damage to 12 to 2400 is meh. It's not that good. Personally, in my opinion, it's a card that even if I did see it being used, I think it would be used at 1 at most. And I think personally, I would just give this card a boot. I think this card just doesn't really offer much. I think this card is just too slow, and only being able to offer a decent amount of burn isn't very handy. I think it's just poor. I just think it's not that good. Dark World Brainwashing, and I'm a huge Dark World fan, so I've been testing this card. I wanted to use this card because I like Dark World, and I'm a huge Dark World fan. So I was very excited to see Dark Worlds get support. So, Dark World Brainwashing is a continuous trap card, and its effect is when an opponent's monster effect is activated while you have 3 or more cards in your hand, you can target one Dark World monster on the field and return it to the hand. And if you do, the effect of your opponent's effect becomes discard one random card from your opponent's hand. I tested this card a lot, and I wanted to put a lot of work into my Dark World deck before I actually gave my opinion on Dark World Brainwashing. But my opinion of this card is actually really negative. I actually don't think that this card is good. I would flat out give this card a boot as well, because this card, after playing this, is that you have to understand that Dark Worlds already have a card like Dark Smog, which in my opinion is much better than this to begin with. You first have to have a Dark World on your field, and you have to have at least 3 or more cards in your hand. And most of the time, if you have a spell or trap card, because it just makes you discard a random card from your hand, and at the same time, you could lose a spell or trap through this. You could lose other cards. You can't really run many text because you need the Dark Worlds to be discarded. This card carries a lot of backlash just for the simple mechanic. The only good thing that this card offers is that it's not once per turn, so you could constantly redo this with beige and constantly aggravate your opponent by cutting off all their effects. But it's not like you can't play skill drain for that. Constantly have a Dark World. Most of the time, remember, Dark Worlds is the type of deck you want to drop your whole hand, and if you drop your whole hand, you're not really going to be able to use this card effectively in the first place. So this card has a lot of backlash. So personally for me, I wouldn't play it. And I took it immediately out of my Dark World deck and I was like, I don't want to play this. But for me personally, that's what I think of Dark World Brainwashing. I think it's not a very good card. I just wanted to do a video doing it once, talking like myself, because I feel like everyone on the channel sees me and knows me for a certain way of speaking, and I naturally don't sound like that. It feels good to just talk like me. Nice. Like sandpaper. I sound like sandpaper. Alright, so if you guys would like to see another Toot and Boot in the future, like the video, and yeah, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day and a better tomorrow. Bye.